Can you imagine a family so frightened in their haunted home, they're so afraid to venture upstairs that the whole family sleep downstairs in the lounge? Hi guys, welcome back once again to the Supernatural Files. As it's that time of year, and there's not a whole lot going on because it's that time of year, and because it's sub-zero temperatures outside, and because we're expecting between 2 and 8 inches of snow by morning, it's time to revisit one of my old cases. I don't even know if this one's been made public before, I actually can't remember, but I'm doing it now. Okay, me and my old team Jess, we attended a place in Hinckley back in the UK. The mother was convinced there was something going on. In fact, the whole family were, although her husband was a little bit sceptical, but even he was getting the heebie-jeebies. This was the spirits they initially tried to deceive me. When we first got there, they were pretty polite, pretty helpful, quite forthcoming, and I believed that to be so that I could just say, guys, are you going to leave? They were going to say yes. I was going to say, okay, job done, tell the family everything's okay, leave, and in the meantime they would have still been there doing their own thing, and the activity would have pretty much been the same. It's only for the fact it felt different to that. I felt I was being deceived, and I said, I think it was to Nick, something's not right here. So we pursued it and we investigated it like any other case. I had to pull out a few stops on this one. There was one point when I went upstairs to sort it out, and the team were downstairs. They started chanting something I asked them to all together. At the same time, I was doing something upstairs which the team were not witness to, and nor was the public. Also understand now, via my union with Becky and more understanding and my extra attributes, now I am a lot stronger in what I do than I was 10, 12 years ago. When I was upstairs, it got ridiculously hot. Ridiculously hot. I was breaking out in a sweat. I could feel my heartbeat go up. There was definitely something going on, and it wasn't friendly spirits. We did get the case resolved, but one of the interesting things was, at the time the team were chanting what I requested them to chant, it seemed to have a direct effect on the husband. Why? I'm not quite sure, but I thought that was pretty interesting. You will hear and hear some very good replies, some very good voices, but when I'd identified these spirits were not as friendly as they first appeared to be, then things changed. They got abusive. All sorts of things were happening. We started to experience things in the building. My daughter went into the bathroom. She could smell a smell. She said it was really sweet. It was like incense. This disappeared from nowhere. She very quickly became feeling physically sick and had to go back downstairs. So this was one of them interesting cases. Well, they're all interesting, but this one was a little different. So let's take a look at that right now.
Hey mate.
That's a good time, isn't it?
You right?
evening we're in Old Shilton in Leicestershire with Michelle. Michelle and her family have been quite concerned that they felt they've got things happening around them, paranormal wise, to the point they've actually been sleeping downstairs for probably almost a year now because they're too afraid to venture upstairs. So I'm here with Michelle. Michelle, what's led you to believe that you may have visitors?
I've had many things happening. I've had things moving.
Actually, physical things moving?
Yeah.
What, you've actually seen them?
There was one time I had a photo frame on my bedside table and it had disappeared. I'd searched for it everywhere. I went back 5 minutes later and it was there on top of the drawers where I'd just been looking. That was the first time that I ever noticed something.
But I suppose it would be the first time you just kind of put it down to, oh, that's a bit weird, rather than...
And yes, until I went back 5 minutes later and this photo frame was on my bedside table where I've just looked.
I can see why that might cause you some concern. Okay. Other things moving?
I've not actually seen anything move, but we do have things that do generally move to another place or things just completely disappear.
But there must have been something that it got to a point where you're too frightened to go upstairs now. So why is she sleeping downstairs? There must be something that took it to that point for you.
Well, the kids have experienced things upstairs where they won't go to bed. My lad has actually hurt his face trying to get out of his room underneath the stairgate.
How many children have you got?
4.
4 ages?
My youngest is 3, and then 5, 8 and 13.
Okay. Have they actually said or felt or anything, or they just don't like being up there?
They don't like being up there. They've not actually said that they feel things or see things.
Have they got any idea what might be going on?
My oldest one has, my 13-year-old, yeah.
Has she ever mentioned anything in front of the other ones that you're aware of that could trigger their imagination?
She does say things, but a lot of it was experienced before she was old enough to understand.
Okay. Going back, how long have you actually been here?
10 years.
Well, you've been here 10 years?
Yeah.
So how long has this been going on? Where you actually noticed something? Presumably it wasn't like that as soon as you moved in, else you wouldn't have probably been here 10 years.
No. I'd probably say about 8 years ago was the first time I felt something.
And it's gradually increased, but it's been over the last 2 months, isn't it? This is why it's now you've decided to give us a call so you can get to the bottom of what's going on and rectify the situation.
Yeah.
So what's been different over the last couple of months compared with the last
I've started having trouble with my other child putting her bed. She's too scared to go to bed. That's my youngest, 3, which I can understand that's, 3-year-old don't want to go to bed, but I've never had any trouble putting her to bed.
Does she say anything?
No, because she don't really talk much.
Okay. Does she wake up crying or anything?
No.
Oh, so there's nothing to do with night terrors or anything,
no,
she just doesn't like it?
Just putting her bed.
Okay. Your husband, is it John?
Yeah.
Okay, glad I got that bit right. I put round a few days ago, just for an hour, to have a little walk around the place, and immediately it picked up very, very strong in your bathroom area. Okay.
Yeah.
Your husband it's fair to say, was a skeptic.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Very, yeah.
It didn't last very long, did it?
No.
No. Because when we actually came down and took a couple of recordings while I was here, there was some very loud, clear recordings in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Which kind of shocked him.
Yeah.
So, tonight there's me, Nick, Alison and my daughter Heather. So we're going to see what we can do for you.
Okay, lovely.
So we can get your place back for you, so you can actually enjoy the whole of the house instead of living in half of it.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle?
Yeah, that's great.
Brilliant,
thank
thank you.
you.
Just been talking to Michelle about, she's just been telling us about the things that you feel have been going on here and how long you've lived here and the way you feel it's affecting the children and everything else. And also the fact she believes that things have actually been moved in the past as well.
Mm-hmm.
Have you actually ever felt anything like experience? Because I know, when I came to see you a few days ago, you was a skeptic.
Yes, I was, very.
But you didn't appear to be sceptical for very long.
Because in my head things have happened, but I'll just keep it to myself because a bloke, I think that it's just my imagination. But yeah, I have seen, well I've not seen, but I've heard Michelle saying that things have moved and things have basically gone off the settee and we've not found them since.
I think it helped when I came down.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's what
so,
I'm talking
yes,
about.
it did. Yes.
When I first came in, you just, I'm skeptical, and I'm a skeptic, kind of thing. And then we did the recordings in the kitchen, and it was quite clear what they were saying, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, very.
In fact, you looked a little bit surprised, to be fair.
Yes, I was.
You weren't expecting it, was you?
Wasn't expecting anything like that at all.
So I've had a little walk around the house this evening. Again, it's really strong upstairs. A lot stronger upstairs than it is downstairs. And again, it appears to be in your bathroom for some reason. So tonight we'll see what we can do. Obviously, you want Michelle to be happy as well about being upstairs.
Yeah, we do.
Be still in normality. You know, have your whole house instead of, like I said to Michelle, you know, sort of living in the bottom half of it. So yeah, me and the guys tonight, we'll see what we can do, John. Get it sorted out for you.
Appreciate that a lot.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll give you. You're going to be with us tonight anyway.
Yes.
So you'll be able to sit here and see anything that actually occurs. So we'll have a little chat afterwards to see how you feel that the night's gone. Okay, John.
That's fine. Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate.
Nick.
Yeah?
John.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
We've been outside.
The front.
What?
Sir.
Yeah.
Outside the front, mate.
Yeah. Why?
Because your dog's got up and she was going to go out, well, go upstairs to see her. Well, I've just asked her. You three have just come from outside.
Yeah, she just said I wasn't.
There was somebody upstairs, it was just her footprints.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I've just been toilet and I've just come to Alison and says, will I be alright for us to change? She says, no, leave it because they're upstairs. Because
No,
I did it
it
up
was
there.
outside on the front. Okay. Heather's will be on the front. What I'm going to do now is we'll have a little walk around anyway, just to see what the state of play is, and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, Nick, I'm just going to have a little walk around the house because literally we're just coming from outside and they thought we was upstairs. There was that much banging and stuff going on. They actually thought Heather had gone upstairs, didn't they?
We did, yeah. We were sat in the kitchen and we heard footsteps upstairs. Didn't think anything of it. I left the kitchen to come and find you guys and, well, nearly went upstairs and then seen the front door open and you guys were on the front, so, yeah, a bit strange.
What have you done?
Yeah, I'll just go upstairs and have a little shifty around, mate. It's fair to say that we are expected. One thing I need to ask, did anyone turn this bedroom light's been on all night? Has anybody turned it off? This is what I did. I dropped a few days ago. I dropped in Heather just for an hour, and it was really some strong replies in here. Right, you know why we're here. We want an amicable chat. There's a gentleman upstairs that said, thank you, keep coming. There's a gentleman upstairs that said this has been his property since World War II. We totally appreciate that. I'd like to speak to him and anybody else here. So I need everybody to come behind me. To come close and not be afraid, although I think you are for 1 minute, and speak to us. There is a gentleman who said that this is his property. I can't see that. I need your name, please. The only way we know what's going on is if you are happy to speak to us, you know, and we get to know each other, and you know, we sort things out. If you don't talk to me, then I have to work on assumptions, and then assumption could be that either you're good, you're bad, in which case that's when I will decide what action I'm going to take. So I'm sure that you would rather us chat amicably before we get to any other stage. Thank you. My name is Matthew. Now, upstairs, I said I said it sounded like Matthew, didn't I? But you couldn't hear it. Listen to this. Thank you, Matthew. Now you can hear Matthew, can't you? Oh, you heard a whisper?
I did just say I can hear something, but I don't know what it is.
No, well, Mark, there was a whisper. It was
Just
it.
there.
I looked at you, but you were looking at Don, but you'd already said that.
It's getting strong around me because I can feel it bit by bit, gradually.
Has that candle got anything to do with it? Because I've noticed every now and then it keeps quite flickering
Yeah, it's
quite a
doing-
lot, and then it will stop.
Is the kitchen window sleeping?
Can't remember if I closed. Yeah,
The
but
thing is, what you've got to remember about a candle, it's in that vase thing there, that glass.
Yeah,
When it's at the top of the glass, it's got more air. As it burns down,
yeah.
it's more restricted
Yeah.
than the air, so it will make it, the lower down it goes, the more it will start to flicker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying that, if anyone here be kind to blow that out, we would be eternally grateful, would we not?
I just noticed every now and then it keeps flickering quite a lot, and then it will stop. And then
That's natural. Matthew, Matthew, is this a family that lives here? I know there's a lot here, a lot of people here. Are you part of a family here? Is it your family? You told me a bit louder. That was quite loud, wasn't it?
I heard something before.
I did as well,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah. And it seemed like it's coming from over there.
What we want is we want the voices coming out of the air.
Yeah,
You may
but
not do.
That's where we
but
both heard
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to build to. There's no mistaking that is a human voice, is there?
Yeah.
That was Get Out.
That was Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah.
That was, did you hear that one? I think that probably was a Get Out at the end as well. That was definitely one
That's
before
Get Out,
the
yeah.
first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's clear, anything.
Okay.
So Michelle, you sat there on the sofa when Don was talking out to the spirits. What were you feeling?
a bit wary, to be honest.
Why?
Just because this is my home, and I didn't realise that there's so many of them here.
But the ideal thing is to have your home back so you can sleep back upstairs. Because how long have you been sleeping downstairs?
Probably about a year.
I think it's about time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in a moment we're all going to go upstairs, I believe on the landing, because the energy upstairs apparently is much, much stronger. So yeah, we're going to
That's where
continue
a lot
to
of
have
stuff
your...
happens upstairs.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm quite intrigued myself. So John, in a moment we're going to go upstairs. Are you still okay?
Yes, of course now.
Is
Yes,
that okay?
yes.
You're doing well, mate. You are doing well. Okay, guys. Now things are heating up. Don's just took another recording. Don,
Yeah?
can you come and play that recording that you shouted down?
What, the unpleasant one?
Sounds very unpleasant.
Right, we started off, as you've seen, trying to talk to some guys. It seems to appear there's some amicable ones, some pleasant ones, or at least appear to be pleasant. They said they were going to fight me, they're not afraid of me, and then a minute later, it says we're going to leave. It's kind of mixed, but at the end of the day, I think it's quite apparent now because I just took this recording upstairs. It would appear to me to say, no, you're fucked, because I was on my own upstairs.
Yeah.
In fact, it's even louder without the voice.
It is, yeah. Whereabouts were you, Don?
That was where I've been finished. In fact, there's someone here now, but just 3 steps on the top. But the other important thing, Nick, is I'll just tell you, when I came down, when I was up there doing that and played it, I just turned around like that, and I saw something. I would say it looked like a figure, although I couldn't say it was a figure, but I definitely saw something about as tall as a person, very, very quickly, just like that. Now, I'm going to go upstairs to see apparently how fucked I really am. So, should we get my recorder?
How you feeling, babe?
Not sure.
Why?
Don't know what to expect at the moment.
Is it the first time you've been upstairs?
Yeah.
Well, at least you're with everyone.
There is a funny atmosphere, I've got to be honest. But I don't know what to expect.
Okay. You alright?
My breathing has just gone up, my heart rate's just gone up. Don't know why. I'm not bothered in the slightest. I'm just... Because by the time I'm done, you'll be gone. Is it just me or is the temperature going right up? Is it just me?
No, it's getting really
Yeah.
All in the last 3 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm just sweating, my face is up.
I'm just on the verge of breaking out in a sweat.
Yeah.
I'm getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
I am.
Yeah.
No, I really am. You feel my head, Marie?
Goodness me, yeah.
It's getting really hot.
John, you alright?
Eh?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You sounded a bit strange for a minute.
Yeah, I thought.
Anytime, John.
Pardon?
Anytime you feel uncomfortable or anything, just say, yeah?
I will do, yes.
Something else we've got to watch for, obviously, is, you know, other people getting things. Do you know what? You were talking about fighting earlier. You was going to fight me. I've tried to be nice and everything. Well, I'm here now. So, you know what? Why don't you just show me what you got? I'm going to make a gentle start after we've had a fag. Is that all right?
I've got a headache.
You've got a date? Okay. Well, let's have a gentle fact then. I'm going to come up and I'm going to make a start doing what I'm doing my way. And then I'll back that up with something a little bit more traditional. Obviously getting a bit excitable now. we're going to fish a great bait. I'm going to come on my own. I'm going to challenge whatever's here, see what it's got or not got, and let's just get the place sorted out.
Marie, whilst Don was doing that out on the landing, what was you feeling in here?
It went really hot, really hot, and then I was stood here and actually turned round really quick because I felt sort of a gentle, say touch is probably the wrong word, but my hair being moved.
Okay.
Just very gently, but it, you know, it was enough to know that that was happening. The temperature's dropped now.
Alison, what about you?
Same as Marie, I was standing there and I could feel like gentle touching on top of my head, and it went really hot, but it's gone chilly again now.
Right, Michelle and John, how are you coping so far?
Fine, but I've just seemed to have an headache just come on, just like that.
Do you want to go outside, John?
I'm going downstairs now,
Yeah,
I think.
go outside, get some fresh air. Go on then, mate.
What, you burnt in it?
I haven't burnt anything. You smell something?
Yeah, it smells sweet. Like incense.
I haven't burnt anything. Does it?
Yeah, it smells like incense.
Let's just try this. Try and see. So, obviously, Ella,
Yeah.
we've got a big way to go, judging by that.
Yeah.
Would you not say?
Definitely.
It's probably some of the last ones you've heard, actually, because you've only been with me twice, haven't you?
Yeah.
But it's not good, is it?
No.
Let's just try again. What, something burnt?
No, like an incense smell. It's in here. What was that?
What was that behind you?
The doorway.
It was the doorway, wasn't it?
Oh, I feel sick.
Do you feel sick?
Yeah, my eyes watering as well.
It's can I stay back? I'll sort it.
God, I don't like it.
Oh, darling, I'll sort it.
But you were like, weren't it, shaking?
As soon as we sat here and you were reading them out, just started coming on.
Okay, Heather.
Yeah.
You've just come down
Yeah.
upstairs. Tell me exactly what happened whilst you was upstairs with Don.
When we first went in the bathroom, there was a strong sweet smell. Both sat down, just talking. And then all of a sudden I felt really sick, like a lump in my throat, I couldn't breathe. And then stood up, my eyes started watering. I went to the door. I thought I seen a figure in the doorway, and then obviously I pointed out, didn't I, to you. I was like, there was something there. And then, I don't know, it was really strange, just kept seeing things, not things, but...
As though something was there, but
yeah,
not there.
Yeah.
Something moving in the kind of just...
Yeah, and it really freaked me out, and
But based on how strong it is up there, and the voices, and the strength, I mean, Heather's been upstairs.
Got sort of shaking.
How long was you in the bathroom? A minute and a half?
Yeah.
Well, literally, we're getting to the stage now where the strength-wise, it's quite possible that you will see something. It is getting to that strength.
Don's gone upstairs to sort things out and get Michelle and John's house back.
That's a handy cross. And you've gone through the roof up there.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell by the voice. That's a handy cross. It's loud, isn't it? Then you just come on my own. That's what that is. So, just sort of let you know that and it's getting warm already. I haven't done anything yet, and the temperature started going up.
Any
So
particular room, or is it just all over?
on that spot, it's with me now, unwanted. So it's going to be. Don't panic. It's what I do, Marie.
I know, I'm just...
How many? 2 minutes.
Oh, I know you're in there.
This is much stronger. The temperature is now really starting to increase, and I've not even done anything yet. You got nothing? I command you to leave this house, you leave this family.
Gotta do it.
Keep going. Oh, you alright? John? Hey? You sure? What's the matter?
Not bad, man.
Okay. You alright, yeah? John's just had to go out. He's feeling sick. Second.
Is John alright?
No. John's not feeling well.
Sorry?
John's one out there is not feeling good.
How's it? You alright, mate? What's the matter?
I just can't stop fucking breathing then.
What, just what I was doing then? Right, I think we need a break now, because I need a break, to be honest, and that's just like round one, a little bit upstairs. So, are you alright, John? Yeah?
What are you feeling?
I just feel sick.
Twice. What was it? And it moved to the teacher and it was twice.
I've had this before.
Have you?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, fucking. Last time I went upstairs, ages ago.
Whereabouts upstairs?
Hey. Let's just come on once when I was upstairs and I come back down. This was ages ago.
Yeah.
But this is when my kids were saying there were things going off up there.
Right.
Yeah, when you get that sicky feeling.
Yeah. You're doing good though, mate. You're doing well.
I'm shaking.
What would you say to anyone that's saying, that's watching this now, and saying you're not feeling that? It's all in your head.
Oh, it's not in my head at all.
You just take your time, okay? And you need me. I'm just literally in there.
That's not the spirits, that's demonic. Which is what I've got.
John's just having a breather, okay? He's getting a bit worked up.
It's one. That's just a couple of the recordings.
Okay.
Temperature shot up through the roof. I was sweating and got a bit out of breath and stuff. And we like this.
You're having a breather now, then?
Yeah, no, I need a breather at the minute, mate.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's done. Obviously we've not shown everything on camera, but temperature in here is going through the roof at the moment. I'm being totally bombarded. Done the cross and holy water thing and the recording played earlier. We like this, obviously mocking everything. And some powerful stuff here. Everything is residing from this bathroom. There appears to be a lot going on to the left hand side at the moment. I can feel. I'm going to finish my cigarette and go for round 2, as it were. Started off last time when we came, when I left, it says I was coming back 4. Somebody says, please don't do that to us. Please don't do that to us. And I tried to speak amicably with some earlier, which sounded perfectly nice. There was a gentleman that sounded nice. He says, my name's Mathew, very, very loud. We've got some really good recordings here tonight. Some very good evidence. With a sceptic will accept it, it's entirely up to them, but you know what, at 3 o'clock in the morning I've got better things to do than go around people's houses all over the fucking country making sound up. Not to mention the play back directly, so. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm getting a bit tired, it's getting very hot. Very hot. Everything seemed too friendly earlier, and I said to Alison and the team, this is not right, because I could feel there was good spirits and bad spirits, and as soon as I said that, there was bad spirits here, and it's not as it appears to be. Everything changed. The voices I've got unpleasant, demonic sounding, mocking. But you know what? It's what we do, so certainly quite challenging, but I'm quite confident that we will get it resolved. One way or the other. Let's just see. See? Who the fox and they are. That's what it says, it's who the fuck something. Who the fuck is Becky? Who the fuck is Becky then? Well, listen.
Yeah, you've had that before.
But I can assure you that there was absolutely no sound whatsoever when we took that recording. Something's changing, and I stopped buzzing, you know, like I do.
Yeah.
We took some recordings, and we've got one here. One says, sounds like Virgin Mary, and this one says, you're the children, which I think is very significant, you know, based on we had before with St Michael and everything.
Yeah.
I'll play this for you now. I mean, you've heard this, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
I was shocked in the bathroom actually when there was Don, Nick and myself, and I'd walked in and I stood still for a moment, and then the light cord went absolutely flying above my head.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have caught it with my head because it went over my head and Don's seen it. And then me and Nick both turned around and there was a loud knocking sound coming from near the shower, I think it is, and nobody was near it. And it just, that amazed me. And then we heard, between me and Nick there was a voice, I suppose I can describe it. We both kind of looked at each other, all in the sake of about 30 seconds. It all...
What was that?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you, was it? That flicked right over here then, I seen it.
Can you do that again?
Yeah, when you was near that dormery,
Yeah,
that pool just went
that
up
was
in the
not
air.
me. I'd have felt the air go if it were me.
It went like this, Nick. I've actually seen it, here it is. I've actually seen it go, it's got a white tip on.
Yeah.
I've actually seen it. Right guys, it would appear the first indications are good. We've had a lot of stuff happening tonight, haven't we? Actually we've had more happening tonight than what I expected as well, because we went from a few to absolutely loads of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, how do you feel now?
I feel completely happy. I feel everything's calm, and just the whole atmosphere has just changed.
It was very interesting that when we got the recording and it says close the portal, it says close the portal, didn't it? I think when we actually play it back properly it will say I closed the portal, because from there the energy went down, the nasty voices disappeared. We were doing that Latin in the bedroom, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was obviously quite effective, wasn't it, as well?
I'm surprised.
It's everything together to get the end result, you know. Becky and the guys have been fantastic, and you know you look a lot calmer now, a lot more relaxed.
Definitely.
I just seem, I don't know, it just seems different.
Yeah, but John, when I first came in, you was open-minded, but you was a sceptic.
I suppose really I'm scared, really, because it's what I've seen on the TV. It's all make-believe, but I've seen it. So
It's different when it's your own place and you actually experience it.
Definitely, yes.
Listen guys, I know you're absolutely knackered. It's been quite a scary night for you as well, in places.
And fun.
And fun as well.
Yes.
And fun. So I'm going to say good night, and I'll say thank you, and we'll check back in a couple of days just to make sure everything's okay for you.
Thank you, yes.
Thank you.
Right, thanks guys.
Cheers.
Well, first of all, like you said, just gone 4:30, absolutely shattered. But what a lovely couple that live here. A few things that really stand out to me. Obviously, the recordings that Don picked up on his digital recorder. But for me personally, when I was in the bathroom with yourself, and was it Don?
Yeah, it was.
The cord, the light switch cord, literally, it was amazing. It shot up in the air, and there was a couple of noises that we heard in there as well, which again, for me personally, is fascinating. I absolutely love what I do, and it's a privilege to be working with Don and of course the rest of the guys at GSI. So until next time, wherever we are, stay tuned.
As you heard, by the time I finished doing what I was doing upstairs and the team were doing what I'd asked them to do downstairs, everything changed. The atmosphere changed. The couple, the family were now happy and they got their home back. I cannot... There's no word to describe the amount of fear paranormal activity will cause people. I've said this many times before. We all know that, but when you're actually there, you're not just observing the people, you're feeling the people, you're sharing their emotions. So to actually resolve a case, obviously, it's a very rewarding thing. Okay, in my last video, it would appear I've got 5 unsubscribers and 1 new one. I'm not quite sure why. I can only think that maybe I didn't explain myself well enough. When I was talking about people just going in and setting up CCTV cameras just to capture something to put it on YouTube. I was not talking about all paranormal investigators or all groups. But surely the good paranormal investigation teams out there will also agree with me, the client is your priority. And there are bad teams out there who promise the world to people just to get into a place. They haven't got a clue what they're doing. They just want to capture something on camera they can put on YouTube and say, look how good we are. They are the people I was talking about. I wasn't referring to all paranormal investigation teams that set CCTV cameras up within a haunted home. On the last video, I got a couple of unsubscribers when I was talking about mediums. I can only assume, again, those that unsubscribed may have been mediums, and the negative things I was saying about mediums not knowing what they're doing, causing people distress in their homes, I can only assume that these mediums were the ones which identified that with themselves. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a problem with that. I wasn't talking about all mediums. It is true, I'm yet to come across a medium that can actually show me what it is they claim. But in all honesty, I haven't met a lot of mediums. And I'm not saying all mediums are rubbish. I'm not saying they're all out to deceive people and take everybody's money. So let me clear that up. Hopefully, if you are a medium or a paranormal investigator or team, those two groups of people are not something you identify with. Okay, we've got that cleared up. But you know they're out there. And they damage your reputation, my reputation, and the subject's reputation. So it had to be said. Maybe I didn't put it as clearly as I should have done. Maybe it sounded like I was being too negative to everybody. That's not the case. Okay, so now we're sorted. Right, okay, so yeah, that case, fascinating, interesting case. And yet again, the responses were pretty phenomenal. Right, it is maybe somewhere in the region of about 1 a.m. We've got thick snow. When it's thick snow, it means it's ultra quiet, and generally you get less static. So let's see if we can talk to some of the guys. Not feeling it really right now, but you know what, let's try anyway, guys. Right, so we have the Becky phone. This is my main phone, speaking to Becky. We have the very old recorder. We have one about the same age, which is pretty damaged, but works. Then we have another DM670 on slightly different settings to the first DM670. And if I can find it, I have another one around here somewhere I would like to employ this evening. Oh, there we go. So let's put that one on. This is a very basic recorder, but like I said, it's all to do with frequencies and hertz and things like that. Not particularly loud. Okay. Good evening, Becky. Good evening, guys. So, guys, Becky, I'm hoping we're going to hear you this evening because I've got some pretty in-depth questions. Tonight may be the night, it may not. Let's see how it goes. Are you all okay? A lot of static on that one. Oh, hold on. There is, right now, 1 gentleman who's very, very close to me right now. Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you know when the human soul enters, when a soul enters the human body? Well, let's be very specific here to cancel out the ambient sound resembling speech thing. I want you to reply specifically to this. If you know, I'd like you to give me the answer. It is when, and then tell me when that is. If not, I would like you to say, I will never know. Nothing more, nothing less. That specific phrase would be really, really, really important. Let's do that now. Let's use this recorder. I will never know, if you don't know. Thank you. Word for word, I will never know. Okay, so I think that kind of settles the argument, doesn't it? About ambient sound resembling speech. Eyes roll. Listen to this, guys. Fantastic. Happy that one? So am I. Absolutely fantastic. Make this public. Right here, right now, I am challenging science. I am challenging the arguments against actual voice phenomena, i.e. EVP. I'm challenging it on the basis of my work over several years. The responses to direct questions and direct answers and such forth. So should there happen to be one single science person in the entirety of this planet, I've just laid down the gauntlet. The only condition is, as always, if you want to come and see me, you can take anything you want of mine and you can analyse the ass out of it. But you will have to give your conclusion on camera whether it is undoubtedly, scientifically, after being scientifically tested, speech. You don't have to admit where it comes from. You just have to identify this as speech. There it is, right here, right now, the end of 2022. And I stand by that. Guys, what do you think to all the cynical and skeptical arguments about your existence? The fact some people say you don't exist because you can't exist because, as I mentioned in a previous video, they proved it. Eyes rolled again. What do you think of that? Because you are the experts. I represent you. It's basically our argument against their argument. Guys, what do you say the people that do not believe the afterlife is real, that denounce you. My goodness me, before we get to that, I literally live between two worlds, on this world and the spirit world. And you know what? Everything is to do with frequency. And I mean everything is to do with frequency. In fact, did you know the frequency of bodily frequency is, no, I look stupid. I think is it 8 hertz? I think it's 8 hertz, if memory serves correct, which it may not do because I'm getting old and tired. Is the exact same resonance of the planet. Whether I've got the 8 hertz right or not, the body frequency it emits is the same frequency in hertz as the planet. You find that interesting? I find that really interesting. Amazing. And the guys, their frequency, we'll ask them about their frequency. And then we'll ask them about my frequency to see how much my frequency differs, which it does, I'm not going into great details, which it does, to your frequency, which enables me to speak. Them, it's complicated, just scrap that one. Okay, let's get back to the question. Guys, my word, your word against the science word. What have you got to say to that? No, I don't. Obviously struck a chord. I don't sense that now. When I say, when I hit the button, say the same thing again. Our word against the word of science. Skeptical people in a positive sense and cynics in a negative sense. The word of spirit is final. You cannot get much more conclusive with that from this ambient sound resembling speech. Okay, well, let's listen to that through the amp. One more time for our scientific friends. There's a lesson in there. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, guys, I'm going to go right now in a second. I've had a couple of comments on my post. Don, I've been traveling. I've not been traveling. I've been trying to get EVPs for 2 years. I've done everything. I can't get any. I'm not sure I believe it, but yours are fantastic. Or worse to that effect. I might have put the fantastic in myself. I can't even remember right now. Okay, but they are pretty good. Let me explain. I've been dealing with you guys for so many years. In fact, effectively from the age of 7. And that would be 50 years in April. Yeah, I know. I'm getting old. I know, I'm getting old. I know I'm doing pretty good. It's my healthy lifestyle, obviously. 50 years is a long time to build an honest, trusting relationship with the guys. All them years is a long time for you to prove your worth, your dedication to them, the subject, and as I said before, it's not about Don Phillips, it's about the guys. Yeah, I enjoy a little bit of notoriety. I'd be lying if I didn't, because you know what? The chance to make a difference is a very rare one in this day and age. There's a lot of investigation teams out there, and with all respect, a lot of them struggle to secure proper evidence. Even more so, repeatable evidence. We have got an opportunity to turn that tide, to challenge any arguments, to challenge science, as I said before, and I'm quite willing to do so. The only problem we've got thus far is anybody willing to accept that challenge, and I put this out for many years. The spirit world is an amazing place, but again, I will have to mention I'm seeing some groups, I don't want any more unsubscribers, not being strict enough with what they're putting out as evidence. Please, please, please be aware of audio pareidolia and visual pareidolia, especially when you're on Facebook and you're putting a picture out and you're saying, what can you see? And everybody say, I see a man with his arm out, it looks like he's touching foot, it looks like this, it looks like that. Do you know what? Take the paranormal thing out of that and look at the photograph, and what do you see? It's a blip. That's all it is. I saw another photograph. A woman, a lady, she took a photograph of what she thought looked like an apparition in front of an old brick cottage. I could clearly see it was light refraction. And do you know what? People's lack of knowledge or experience is not their fault, because we all have to learn. So I never criticise people just starting out. It's a learning curve. There is no rule book. What I would say is this. If, for example, you've got a photograph of an apparition in a certain place, you get back, you check your photographs. Wow, look, I think that's an apparition, that's a man, that's a woman, that's a monster. Anything at all. Go back the following day, stand in the same place and take that photograph again. If there's nothing there, that's interesting. If the same thing is there in every single photograph you take, it's visual pareidolia. This was clearly looked like a figure, but when I blew into the picture out of curiosity, I could clearly see it was from light refraction on the actual blocks of the cottage. So that's important. But if you're going to do that, you know what, go back same time of day, the following day, in the same light conditions. You need to do that. That is important. We have to be so strict with what we put out, because we want to strengthen our argument. And anything we put out is weak. That's weak will weaken our argument. And as I've said before, that's the stuff that's going to get bounded around all the skeptics and everything websites. Okay. Please, guys, just be strict with your evidence. We can turn the tide, and you know what? We are making changes now. I've got the experiments coming along next year, which I've spoken about many, many times. Help reinforce my argument by being strict about what you call evidence. Look at it objectively. Be your own worst skeptic. If it passes that, fine, put it out. And while I'm on the subject, if any of you guys, anybody, has got any photographs or video clips you want to send to me for me to analyse and check, I'm happy to do that. And I will comment on it on one of the shows, the next show or whatever. But do not get offended if my reasoning is totally different to yours. If you're asking for my opinion, I'll give you my opinion based on my lots of years research and experience. But please, like I said, don't get offended if it steps on toes. I'm more than happy to do that. And audio recordings. If you want to send me an audio recording, I'll check it out. I'll look at the frequency range. I'll tell you my honest opinion. I actually had one of them from a very, very, very nice young lady that she sent me. Don, what do you think of this? I gave her my honest opinion. She accepted that. That's nice. That's nice. I don't want people sending stuff in and saying, yeah, but. If you're asking for my opinion, I will give my opinion and help as much as I can. Right, now I think, you know what, we've had some pretty, considering the conditions, we've had some pretty good concise replies tonight. And that video with Michelle and her family, wow, that was something. Like I said, a lot of it was cut out because I don't put out what I do when I do things in places, when I was doing that stuff upstairs. I don't want people trying to replicate it. First of all, they won't be able to, because every individual is different and I do things different to everybody else. But we got the case sorted, it was concluded, Michelle and her family were happy. So I do take a lot from that.
I feel completely happy, I feel everything's calm, and just the whole atmosphere has just changed.